Welcome to Coffee and Tarot with Mama T. I'm Teresa, and I'm welcoming those of you with Libra in your having your sun, your rising, or your moon signs in Libra. And I have a monthly reading ready here for you for the month of September. I've already prayed over, shuffled, and cleansed the decks, and they are ready to go. I'm just going to flip the camera over so that you can see the tabletop as we're turning the cards over. So we'll just pause for just a moment and then we'll get started. All right. We are ready to roll here, Libra. I'm looking forward to seeing what the cards have to say to you this month. The way we're going to do this is first of all, I'll start off with your pendulum word of the month that Spirit gave to me. And your word is the word positive. I mean, it doesn't hurt to start a month off like that. So, positive, that might be something that you will see in the cards. We'll find out. It could be something that the spirit isn't just encouraging you to remain positive as we go through this month full of heavy astrological energy. Or maybe it is just something that will come to you as you go through the month. We'll just put this right here as our touchstone for as we get started. Then these here are random keywords. I've got hundreds of them that I've written on these cards here that I just pulled a couple for each week of the month, and we will read the cards by week. So we'll go week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. Then we will lay out your cards in this fashion. The first cards will represent you and the energy that you have. Then this is the energy surrounding you and the environment around you. This will be the cards that represent your challenge. And then the final column will be the gift or guidance from the Spirit. So I also have these little charms. I've just started pulling a handful of charms out of this bag full of charms I've collected. Just to see if any of these, resonate at all. This is the biggest one I have in the bag, I think, is a butterfly. Then we have an elephant, a peach colored heart. This one is looks like a little schnauzer, like a miniature schnauzer, a little dog. I used to have a giant schnauzer. She passed away a few years ago. And then the word grace. A dove or bird of some sort. The letter E, the letter P. This is it looks like a little sheep, maybe. Then this is a little pig with wings, so when pigs fly. So that's a good one. This little leaf. This came off of an earring. I had a pair of these earrings and lost one of them. So now one of them is in my charm bag. A horse and a little boombox. Let's see here. Just had to pop up on my phone. I wanted to see what the notification was. Okay, sorry about that. All right, and we'll jump into your keywords. First of all, your first keywords are necklace and legacy. See if those have any resonance for you at all. And your first deck of cards that we're going to be using are from the Meraki deck by Boucher Design. I love these cards. The Meraki Tarot. They're beautiful, and I have a few decks by this creator. Your first card that represents you for the first week in September is the Eight of Wands. I'll lay out the first week and then we'll talk about these. The energy around you is the Page of Cups. The challenge is the Queen of Cups. Okay. And the gift from the universe that you get for that first week is the Magician. Some interesting magician. Okay, so we'll start there. The Eight of Wands is quick, speedy, hasty incoming news. So this represents you. You might have some news that you need to share with somebody. You're in a rush for something. This is definitely fast moving new information. And then the clarifying cards may give us a little bit more context. The Page of Cups for the energy around you. This is somebody who is optimistic and positive. You know, they have it's a potential offer of love. They're very positive and eager and excited, and they are you know not in terribly great control of their emotions. I mean, they're like learning the realm of the cups suit, which is the emotions and feelings and all of that. And so, but because they're kind of an apprentice, they may be like a little emotionally insecure. I'm not sorry, not insecure, emotionally immature. But overall positive and optimistic. So it's a good energy to have around you. It could be, could be an offer of love coming your way. Something to be kind of on, have on your radar. With the Queen of Cups and being in your challenge, it makes me think maybe you're not in the market for love. The Queen of Cups is the most intuitive queen. She's very in touch with her emotions. She's very in touch with her intuition. She's very comfortable in the realm of, in the emotional realm. And with this being in your challenge row, it lets me know that either you're having some difficulty with your emotions at this time, or maybe you're wanting to block some of this love energy and you're not interested in whatever this page has to offer. The clarifying cards may give us some context. The Magician as a gift, I mean, it's an awesome gift to get from the spirit. The guidance from the universe here is to really focus and hone in on your creative energy. You have, as a magician, you have an idea, and the caution or the advice with this idea of something you want to create is to focus in on it, really keep your focus highly tuned into that, gather your tools that are necessary and use them, and have confidence in your ability to execute on your creative mission. So that's a great gift to have from the universe. We'll get some clarifying cards. We have, this deck is the Arenda Tarot. It's also by Boucher Design. And that's why I selected it, is because they do go really well together. They're very pretty together. With the Eight of Wands, you get the Hierophant. So you may have, the Hierophant is about, it represents the government, it represents the church, institutions, conventional wisdom, kind of thinking inside the box. So you may have some incoming news coming to you, or you may need this to share news like this with somebody else. that has to do with those institutional um, organizations. Phoebe, sorry, my dog. So, whatever this news coming in is, whether it's coming into you or it's news that you need to share, it has to do with these, established kind of organizational um, groups. And it could be about, thinking inside the box somehow. It's not real innovative energy, but it's established wisdom because for a reason. It's because it works. It's worked for centuries. And, so be on the lookout for that. With the Page of Cups, you get the Queen of Cups. So a repeat of the Queen of Cups. That's the universe saying, I said what I said. And with this being the Queen of Cups, this tells me there's going to be like a lot of emotional energy in your surroundings. The Queen she's able to really regulate and be in tune with her emotions and make sure that the expression of her emotions is done in a mature manner. She's as I said before, she is very in tune with her intuition. So there may be people around you or in your immediate surroundings where you're feeling like these people are very in tune with their intuition, or it's kind of an emotionally charged situation. But definitely, it's looking like, a potential offer of love coming in. With the Queen of Cups, you get the Sun. So, and with this being a challenge for you, the Sun expands and makes things grow. It illuminates. It and highlights whatever it's with. And so it's highlighting and expanding and growing this love and or intuitive energy. And if you have been kind of blocked off from that for whatever reason, that might be the reason why it's a challenge for you right now. With the Magician, you get the Three of Pentacles. This as a gift to go with the Magician shows. So the Three of Pentacles is about working with a group and collaboration and producing results. It's about taking expert care to work on something. And you could be the expert as the Magician. You could be the expert that is leading some other people. Maybe with this creative project that you've got going on, you need people to help you, and you're going to lead them, and the universe is putting the right people in your path. All right, let's look at week 2. We have Departed and Oath. Okay. So these Legacy, Departed, Oath, these things they feel like they're related. Let's see here. With the first week, your energy, we get the Three of Swords. Okay, so this puts these cards up here in a little bit more context. The Three of Swords is a card of heartache. It's a card of betrayal, and grief. It's maybe you are still nursing a heartache, and you're just not open to this love energy that's coming your way, or you're wary of it because you've been hurt before and you don't want to let your guard down. That's one interpretation of how this could be playing out. Another way of looking at the Three of Swords is that you're putting your logic over your heart. The swords represent thoughts, words, and ideas. And the heart, obviously these represent your heart and they represent your emotion, and or your intuition. And you have been prioritizing this logical energy, the thoughts, the words, the ideas, logic, rational thought, and reason. You've been prioritizing that over, you know, things that are a little bit more nuanced and spiritual in nature. So that's another way of interpreting that. Take that how that resonates, but that's the energy that you have for that second week. Now, in the second week here, September 7th, we have um, the lunar eclipse. And then we are going to have a solar eclipse on the 21st of September. These are really big eclipses with a lot of other astrological energy going on. And so everybody is going to feel them in one way or another, depending on where they fall in your chart. Um, so, that could be, it could be bringing up old stuff. With the energy around you here, we get the Ace of Cups. Now, this is another offer. This is an offer of love and abundance from the universe. This could be an offer of love. It can be an offer of, the ability to manifest something new in the spiritual or intuitive realm. All aces are powerful energy of new things in your horizon or in your realm. This is in the energy around you. And with it being the cups and being combined with these cards above here, it does make me feel like it is still this persistent sort of love offer that is in your general vicinity. Your challenge this week, you can't make this stuff up. You get the Lovers. The Lovers card is your challenge. So now the Lovers does not need to mean love. It doesn't need to mean a partner or spouse or, boyfriend or girlfriend or anything like that. It can mean any kind of important partnership. You could be having a challenge with a business partner. You could be having a challenge with somebody who plays a close collaborative role in your life. Maybe a friend or a sibling or even a kid, one of your children or a parent, somebody that you are deeply involved with on a regular day-to-day basis. And with it being in your challenge card, it does make me feel like it is, that you're having a little bit of friction here. Now, it can be because of this other energy, it does sort of feel like a love sort of conflict. And it feels kind of like it's your conflict. It doesn't feel like it's the other people's conflict. Maybe you're just not quite ready. And that's okay. No means no. Your energy, your gift from the spirit here is a Page of Wands. A Page of Wands is, all pages are, they're bringing incoming news. The Page of Wands is super excited about some new creative project. They want to deliver the firewood to the knight so the knight can set the firewood on fire and deliver it to the queen so that the queen can move this project closer to completion. I mean, it's a creative force, some kind of creative idea, and especially with the magician that you have up here, it does make me feel like this is some kind of creative idea that you have, and the universe is giving you that enthusiasm and bold drive to, kind of really push forward your ambition. And that could be why you're not into this love thing right now, because you want to focus on this creative idea. Let's see what the clarifiers say. On the Three of Swords, we get the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords is a time for rest and recuperation. So you may be, still nursing this grieving heart and or working on some logical thought that you have been prioritizing, and the universe is providing the time to rest. The Four of Swords is a card of rest, reflection, repose. You retreat and take care of your own needs and get yourself shored up for whatever's next. Sometimes this is an enforced rest. Like if we have been pushing ourselves too hard and are reluctant to take the rest that we need, then the universe will give us with bless us with a summer cold, or, throw our back out or something like that, where we have to take the time to rest. So if you haven't had something enforced yet during this time frame, I would recommend taking the time. Find a way to get that retreat in, even if it's only for a day, where you just take some time to yourself and read your books and, drink your tea and whatever it is that you do that makes you feel restored and rejuvenated. All those words that start with the letters RE. With the Ace of Cups, we get Temperance. Okay, so with this offer, this emotional offer that's coming in, the Temperance card is there. And the Temperance card is all about temperance. It's about balance. It's about making sure nobody's overdoing it. This is an energy of, mixing and measuring and making sure you're getting just the right amounts of this and that, and not, there's no overdoing it energy going on. And so I think that's a good balance with this, this love, kind of big, huge cup of love coming in that you're not necessarily sure you want. I am obviously, telling a story here. If the story does not resonate with you, leave it behind and, take your own interpretation. Your own interpretation of the cards is the most accurate. Okay, with the Lovers, we get the Three of Swords. So we get a repeat card, the universe saying, I said what I said. You're just, this is a challenge because you're still dealing with this broken heart, or you're very much in a logical space right now and not wanting to work on, deal with emotional things. So, either one of those interpretation feels right. But again, like I said, take your own interpretation. It's the most accurate. With the Page of Wands, you get the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is a card of independence. So, it's a card of independence. It's a card of abundance. The woman in the most depictions of this card is obviously happy. She's obviously content. She's living an abundant life with her beautiful garden and her birds, and she is just as happy as can be. And she has no need of anything else. That's exactly where she wants to be. So sounds like you want to have that abundant, independent energy creating something awesome. Okay, next, the following week, we get Urgent and Validation. And your energy, move these before I start pulling those. Your energy is the Hierophant. Okay, so we get this again. This is again, it's still looking at that wisdom, the established wisdom. Maybe you're studying something. You're seeking that conventional wisdom or established the established order of things from whatever institution applies in your life here. And yeah, I mean, you are just, it's kind of this independent study, looks like, or, some kind of, it is a very stable energy. This is a Taurus card. It's a very stable, solid energy of doing things the way they've always been done because they've always worked. The surrounding energy is the Wheel of Fortune. I just realized I left my stereo on. I'm going to pause this and turn that off. Okay, and I'm back. I didn't turn it off. I just turned it down. Hopefully it wasn't too loud. Okay, so surrounding energy is the Wheel of Fortune. And this energy, this could be more of a kind of a global energy. What I've been getting in this third week of September has seemed to be related to big changes happening in the United States government in this time frame, to kind of coincide with that solar eclipse. I don't know that that's the case. Obviously, I'm not even a legitimate psychic. I just have periodic gut feelings that I can't predict. But anyway, I have been kind of clued into that as a possibility. We'll see what the clarifying card has to say, and that clarifying card may make it feel like it's more of a localized energy around you and not, a national kind of thing. But with the Wheel of Fortune, it is changing its karma and it's changing fortunes. That when things are, if it's changing for somebody in the better, to the better, they should enjoy it because the wheel is always turning, like the old Journey song, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. That's exactly what's going on. Is your luck is when it's up, you need to enjoy it, and when it's down, just hang on, it's going to change. So you'll see kind of a changing fortune of one fashion or another in the energy surrounding you, either close by energy or like a national energy. Your challenge this week, Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is this nostalgia card. This is a beautiful card of reflecting back on childhood, learning lessons from a nostalgic review. And, that can sometimes be very bittersweet. And so with it being in your challenge column, it might just be something that is coming up for whatever reason. Maybe you're getting together with family members for, some kind of a, maybe a funeral or something. And so that's why it is more of a bittersweet reflection rather than a happy reflection on childhood. But yeah, it's a nostalgia card. It's looking back on things and sometimes reviewing it as and thinking that it was better than it really was. That's especially if the card is reversed. But if it's upright, it's usually a happy reflection. But not all of us had happy childhoods. So the gift of the universe is the Meraki card. Now this card is it's a unique card to this deck. This deck has Meraki is it's a Greek word that means to. It was my word of the year for I think 2023 or 2020. Yeah, 2023. I think it was my word of the year. It's to imbue your work with your soul's passion. It's to work, to love what you do. but not just love what you do, but to do what you love, and it is a soul thing. It's not just I enjoy my job; it's a soul thing. And so this Meraki card, it's after the world. The world card is the card of completion, and then this is like going to heaven. The world card is like the end of a cycle, and with the world comes a new cycle. But this is like a pit stop in heaven in between the world card and starting the fool's journey over again. So this is a beautiful card, and with it, following after these gifts of the universe involving creative drive, this tells me that whatever you're working on is something that is you're deeply passionate about it, and it is your soul's work. Okay, so let's get some clarifiers. We have, with the Hierophant, we get the Five of Cups. So this is another card of remorse and regret. The Five of Cups shows somebody, it shows in this case a crow or a raven, distraught over the three things that are wasted in front of them. It's usually three cups in front of a person that they have spilled, they're super sad about. In the Rider-Waite Tarot, it shows a guy, sad about his spilled cups of wine. He's lost his taste for wine, and he's devastated by it. And all he needs to do is turn around and look behind him. There's two cups of something better. And, if he takes those two cups, and then he can, go off on his journey to a place that's even better. And that's the idea of this: is the remorse is there, but all you have to do is turn around and look and see what else you have. There's so much else to be grateful for if you can just peel your eyes off of the thing that you are regretful about. With the Wheel of Fortune change, the changing karma, we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is an enforced, and it's an enforced rest, basically, but it's not just a rest. It's this guy he was walking along and got yanked up by a rope, and he's hanging by a rope from a tree, and he has to just hang there and wait until somebody comes along to get him cut down. And in the meantime, he's looking at things and seeing things from a different perspective. So it's a time to turn everything upside down. So with the Wheel of Fortune, it's, the wheel has turned, and the people in your surroundings are looking at things from a different perspective. This tells me this is definitely a national energy, not necessarily your local energy. It could be your local energy too, of course, but I think it feels national. Six of Cups, you get the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is a card of defending yourself. You are, and you may not like to have conflict at all. Especially when it comes to this nostalgia and, this with the people that you might be having to have some kind of conflict with. You don't like conflict, but it's necessary, and you will prevail, and you need to defend yourself. And that's what the Seven of Swords is about. No, I'm sorry, I am getting Seven of Swords and Seven of Wands totally mixed up. So Seven of Swords is, some people call it the trickery and deceit kind of thing. So that can be the energy. That might be why this is a challenging card, because you're looking back on things that happened in the past and seeing some deceitful actions by others and feeling kind of icky about it. Or and the other interpretation of the Seven of Swords is that you are doing things in a different way. You're doing what needs to be done. It's kind of taking taking opportunities where they are. The idea of the Seven of Swords, when in the Rider-Waite deck, it shows a guy stealing the swords of his enemies. That way he doesn't even have to go to war. Okay, yeah, he's stealing something that isn't necessarily right, but he's doing it for a good reason, and it's having the result that he wanted. So it was kind of an opportunistic thing, but it resulted in what he was trying to accomplish, which was avoiding going to war. So the Seven of Swords, it's, basically taking, it's not doing the Hierophant kind of thing. It's not following the Hierophant type of action. This is the way things are always done. They're staying inside the box, following the rules and guidelines. This one is doing what needs to be done, but maybe doing it in a different way that other people might frown upon. So it can, whether it's you doing this or it's somebody else doing this, it can feel like a challenge. And so I can see why it's in your challenge column. With the Meraki, you get the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups is a card of walking away. This is, you've got these 8 cups. They're perfectly good cups. They're full of good things, and you still don't want them. You still don't want them. There's nothing wrong with this love over here. You just aren't. It's just not what you want, and you're turning around and you're walking away. You're grabbing your hat and you're walking toward the sun, and you're going to go do what you're going to go do, which is to go to follow your soul's purpose. Because nothing else will do. You are not going to settle. Okay, 4th week, we have mantra. So, mantra, oath, those kind of fit together too. And energy shift. With your own energy, we get justice. So this is a card of, just exactly what it sounds like. It's a card of balance. It's a card of getting things right. It's a card of truth and justice and making sure, this is your card. This is your card, Libra. So, you know what that's all about. It's just making sure the scales of energy, whether it's right or wrong, night or day, good or bad, salty and sweet, you're making sure that things are balanced out. And the energy surrounding you is the Fool. So the wheel of fortune has shifted. The Hanged Man has looked at things and seen things in a different way than they've been seeing them for quite a while. And now the Fool's journey begins again. So there's a new beginning. The Fool card is, it represents optimism and excitement and naivety and trust. But it's a new journey starting all over again. In the challenge column, you get the King of Swords. So the King of Swords can be, the King of Swords is intellectual. He is not big on, touchy-feely stuff. And, he's into thoughts and ideas and words. He can be, he's looking out around him. He's the leader, of course, like all kings are. But he's not like a super warm and fuzzy guy. So he can be pretty assertive. And having this energy in your challenge column, this could be either you have to be like this in your role at work, maybe, or maybe you have a boss like this that is, that you're having a hard time warming up to. It can be a number of different ways that this energy is coming into play as a challenge. With your gift from the universe, you get the Queen of Swords. Okay, so you get the Queen and the King together. And I like the way this is because you can see that both of these birds, they're looking at each other. So that presents sort of a united front of this energy. Even though the King is in your challenge column, the Queen as the gift is that makes this energy a little bit less difficult. We'll find out what the clarifiers have to say. But with the Queen here, she nothing gets by her. She's very insightful, and she notices everything, and she likes to express her opinion, and she can be a little bit sharp with the tongue when necessary, but one way or the other, she's going to say what needs to be said. So it's the not missing anything and being very insightful and having great ideas. That's the awesome part about that card, especially you can see how that would be a gift, especially depending on what kind of creative project you're working on. With the clarifiers, for the Justice card, we get the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is on a mission. Like all knights, they're all on a mission. The Knight of Wands is charging forward with a creative idea. He is bold and super excited, and he might, be like a bull in a china shop, but he's going to be coming thundering in with some great creative force. And so, with whatever the balance is going on here, there's a creative idea, a new creative message being delivered as well at the same time. It's bold, it's charismatic. It can be, on the aggressive side. The king. The Knight of Wands. Yeah, but he's very energetic and very excited. With the Fool energy, we get the Ten of Swords. So this is the end of a cycle. So these all sort of fit here together, and I feel like this is like that global national energy that I was talking about. The Ten of Swords is something is over. You can see this butterfly has 10 pins in it. There is no resurrecting that butterfly. It's dead. And so that's the good thing about the Ten of Swords, is there's no wondering if this can be, fixed or resurrected or anything like that. It's completely over. So that's a good thing. And having the ending of something, and then the Fool, this optimistic new beginning going hand in hand, that it just does sort of tell me that I'm predicting some stuff nationally, but this could be in your local environment around you too. Whatever this is, there's an optimistic new beginning right with it. The King of Sword energy for your challenge, with that, we get the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune repeated. So changing karma, changing luck is happening with this intellectual energy here as well. So this changing luck, it feels like a challenge. It could be that this change in luck comes along and it kind of just sort of hits you in your intellectual brain. And, but again, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's always moving. So if this is coming in for you, then just hang on. It's going to change again, especially with all of this awesome energy that you have from the gifts of the universe. So whatever this kind of, this is, if it's a momentary setback, if it's yours, but it could be something that's happening to this person, this character in your life, and it just presents a challenge for you to have to deal with it. With the Queen of Swords, we get the Page of Wands. And, these queens and their pages, the Page of Wands is much like the Knight of Wands. I mean, we had the Page of Wands before, I think, somewhere in here. Maybe not. Maybe, yeah, it was up here. So you get the Page of Wands twice as a gift. As a gift from the universe. So definitely this creative fire is coming in for you, and you have to stoke these flames. These are brilliant ideas that the universe is bringing in for you that you need to focus on. The universe is telling you with these cards that your creative energy, whatever that creative idea is, this is your soul's work. Don't settle for anything less. It's going to lead to independence and abundance. You will work with fantastic people while you're creating this amazing project. I'm jealous of those cards. Okay. All right. So let's get a couple of oracles here for you. For you, Libra, this is from the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. She has several decks that I have several of her decks that I really enjoy. This one, you get the bud, potential, promise. It's about to happen. Keep going. What did I just say? Keep going. The potential is all there and the promise is there. You just need to keep going. It's about to bloom. Okay. Your angel number card. This is just an angel number deck, Divine Angel Oracle deck. And yours is renewal, 890. You are experiencing renewal and fresh beginnings. Release the past, and embrace the opportunities for growth and transformation ahead. 890. So watch for 890 to show up in your, on your receipts or house numbers that you have to visit, or 890 on a phone number you've got to call. You may see this number popping up, and if you do, it's just a reminder of all of this. All right, and your final card is from the Awakening Intuition deck here, and your card is Develop Healthy Routines. Your mystical abilities flourish when your earthly life is orderly, practical, and predictable. Healthy daily, weekly, monthly, and seasonal routines calm your sensitive nervous system, making it easier to tune into your intuition. Which healthy eating, exercising, resting, playing, spiritual, relationship, and work routines can you lean into, update, or adjust to support your sixth sense and to support your creativity, I would add. So there you go. And that will do it for our reading. Libra, thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this reading, please don't forget to hit that like button. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel so that you can be notified when I have a new reading available. I hope to see you in my next video, and I wish you a wonderful September. Bye now.